Okay, so we're starting with our 8 yoga poses for today, and this is the longer sequence. So I'll try and explain as we go through, but hopefully once you've got it, it will be a 15 to 20 minute routine. Okay, so we're going to start with the pump, move on to the twist, do the wide-legged hamstring stretch side to side. Then do the wide-legged hamstring stretch to human cross, cat-cow. We're then going to do crescent moon, split lunge, world's greatest stretch, and then we've got a routine from down dog to upward facing dog. And then we've got dynamic scorpion to finish. So those are the 8 processes, 8 sequences that we're going to work with. So as a warm-up, I'm going to adjust this slightly, so you can see a little bit more clearly. So I'm going to take my arms up and I'm going to sort of swoosh the ground, bending the knees as the arms go back and coming back up to standing. So it's kind of relaxed pose, trying to get into the joints. Let the head do what the head wants to do as you come forward. So the arms come up if they can, even if you've got the elbows slightly bent. And then we move from this kind of dynamic pose with the legs, where we're kind of bending and pushing off, to turn it into more of a hamstring pump. So as we sweep up, we bend the knees as we come down, and then we straighten the legs to get to the hamstrings as the arms go back. Bend the legs, extend up to straight, bend the legs, extend to straight. So again, you can choose the rhythm for that. So we're only thinking about 20 seconds to 30 seconds for each of these movements as a way to just warm up and freshen up. Okay. And then let the arms naturally come to stop. Pause. So from here we're doing our second warm-up, which is a twist. So a lot of this is about joint work, getting a little bit more energy through the body and getting the spine to enliven. So the twist is what helps us with the spine particularly. So we're tapping on the front side belly and on the back of the kidney, lower back side. And we're moving our hips. We're standing probably shoulder distance apart. We've got soft knees. So it often feels like a bend when we have soft knees. So you can't tell probably from here that I've got soft knees. And we can choose our wind speed. Yeah, how fast we go with this. So hopefully you'll feel the air on your arms as you go around, but you'll get that sense of rotation through the spine, and that's partly due to the movement of the hips. So again, maybe 20 seconds for this, or 30 seconds, so we've got kind of like a minute's warm-up basically between the 2 movements, and then pause. So we're going to go down onto the ground. We're going to do the hamstring stretch first. So we've got 2 hamstring stretches with wide legs. So one is hamstring stretch with wide legs side to side, one leg and then the other leg. And the other one is wide legged hamstring stretch into human cross. So we're starting here with keeping the legs broadly straight. So they'll feel, rather than pushing back in the knees, which locks everything out, you just need to keep them soft. So when I say soft knees, all I mean is unlocked. Okay, so feet need to just feel that they're the right distance away from you, so it's wide-legged. Inside leg measurement will be the gap between your feet generally, but you need to just feel like you're secure. If the knees feel uncomfortable, then you track your toes out. So you feel like you've got a little bit more opportunity for the knees to feel good. But if you start with the toes out, and that feels okay, then that's great. So we're going to track our hands at the top side of one thigh. And we're going to keep the legs broadly straight as we head towards the ankle. And then we're going to come up and we go down the other side. And you will feel it where you feel it, but often it's kind of like down the inner side, the outside of the thigh, up closer towards the hip point. And again, just find a rhythm that feels good. So sometimes we're working with the breath, sometimes we're working with rhythm. So this could be either, yeah, so you could just do rhythm, or you could come up on the in-breath and down on the out-breath. Yeah, that kind of supports your movement. And back to standing. Okay, so we're staying with our legs wide. So again, now let's say 20 to 30 seconds on that one. And then we've got the wide leg hamstring stretch to human cross. So from here, I'm going to allow, so my hips slightly slide back, my legs stay straight, but with that unlocked knee as I come forward. So I'll kind of allow my upper back to rest over my legs. If I can, I try and engage my thighs so the legs are strong here. Once I'm down, let the head be heavy. So again, it's this feeling of upper body rests over the body, over the legs. Bend the knees, and bend the knees much as you like here to support you coming up. And then when you're up, the legs straighten and the arms come out like a human cross. So again, you could do a rhythm, or you could do in-breath, out-breath. So coming down will be the out-breath. Bending knees coming up will be the in-breath. So you can push the pelvis forward. That feels good to kind of get to the glutes to work. So you come up and the pelvis comes forward and you feel like you're really opening there. Okay. And one more out breath. Then knees push off, use the legs to get you up rather than the back. Pelvis out. And rest. So yeah, let's say 30 seconds for each of those. So we've got a minute there as well. So onto your more familiar poses now. So we start with cat-cow, and broadly the shoulders are over the wrists and the knees are just below the hips. And if we create a rounding of the back, flexing the back, then the out breath comes, and in breath comes as the chest comes forward into cow. So it can be smooth and easeful. So if we're thinking about mobility, we are thinking more kind of how can we create smoothness? And the other bit is then how do we create a wider range of movement? So, you know, some things we're already at our maximum, just, you know, with the body structure. We can't get any further. So it's not like there's an insurmountable range option here. Okay, and then pause. So from here, we're going, as you did in your previous exercise, we're coming to bring one leg forward and get into that position where we can get that leg broadly straight. So we're looking at seeing if we can get the ankle broadly in front of the hip, and I think that was more supportive for you, at least on one side. But if it isn't supportive, then you just need to take the foot slightly out to the little toe side. So we come down touch the floor, lean forward to get that stretch. And then we come into the crescent moon version. Yeah, so we are bringing the pelvis forward if we've got room to do so, to get more space there. So just remind us here, you know this well. So it can be as your previous timings, or it could be a little bit shorter. But this is a key move for you. You may have already done it earlier in the day, so you may choose to do a shorter version if you have. So maybe a minute, maybe a couple of minutes. Yeah, so from here, we don't swap sides, remember. What we're going to be doing is we're going to take the hand that was on the little toe side, bring it inside and let that foot come over to more shoulder distance or even wider. So we've got both our fingers now around about where the arch of that front foot is. We take the back knee off the floor and we're moving into the world's greatest stretch on this first side. So I've got my left foot forward, so I'm going to take my left elbow down towards the ankle and open up. So about 30 seconds for this one. It's not, you can always extend them, but it's quite a strong pose. So from here, get the fingers down, get the knee down, and somehow get your legs back together before you go on to the second side. Yeah, so second side starts with the crescent moon and split lunge. So foot down, coming down, moving forward to crescent moon. Okay, so I know you know this really well now, so we'll move on. So hands come in, foot goes to little toe side, toes touch on the back foot to get you up and off the ground. And from here, my right side, so right elbow goes down, right arm extends, right elbow goes down. And both hands down, back knee down, get yourself undone. Okay, so from here, we're doing the sequence, which is down facing dog and upward facing dog. So we need to change what we're doing with the hands. So rather than the wrists being below the shoulders, the wrists are forward, yeah, about a hand's distance forward. So you've got wrists in front of shoulders there. You're going to tuck your toes under and you're going to sweep your bum back towards your heels to lengthen through your spine. So if you like, belly goes in, sitting bones go back. You come forward, this is point 2 of the 4, and your shoulders just come above the wrists. You push back as if you're taking your bum towards your heel, but then you take your knees off the floor, keep the knees as bent as you like, push back with your bum lengthening through the spine. Come down on your knees, untuck your toes, bring the pelvis forward so it gets close to the floor. Keep the arms straight if you're comfortable, but you can take the elbows back to come lower if you prefer. When I do the one I showed you, which is straight arms, I want the shoulders back, chest forward, belly and support my lower back. I'm pushing back with my hands, taking my bum as I do that. I'm getting my feet untucked under as my bum goes back. We're back to point 1. Come forward, point 2. Is shoulders over wrists. Point 3, take bum back, then knees come up. 2, downward facing dog. Knees as bent as you like. Coming down with your knees to point 4. Tuck your toes, pelvis forward. Once you're down, push back, shoulders back, really release the neck. So breathing out, breathing in to come forward. Breathing out to come into downward facing dog. Coming down on top toes, breathing in for upward facing dog. Breathing out. Breathing in. Breathing out. Breathing in. Breathing out. Finish here. Okay, we're nearing the end. So just needing to reposition. I'm not here, hopefully we won't need to do that. So we've come from sitting back just to relieve the back. We come forward to get onto our belly. Take the arms out at shoulder level. I'm suggesting if you want to do it active with the fingers on the floor, the chest stays raised, so the head and the chest is off the floor. And we're coming into dynamic scorpion. Yeah, so we're going to sweep one foot over as we roll back. So the chest stays off the floor, head stays off the floor for the whole process. As we unwind, it's a nice way to finish. So a minute or so here, just what kind of feels right to finish. So if you're enjoying it, it might take a little bit longer. So you can take the foot further over if that feels like one you've physically got space, but also you've got space in your body. And then to finish, bring the arms back in. You can always lie down for a moment just to recover. Get yourself, get your breathing out, relax your belly. And then hands by the side of the rib cage will help get you up. Push yourself back up. And your work is done. So hopefully no surprises there from what we went over with the 8 moves. Pump, twist, wide-legged hamstring stretch. First one being side to side, second one being turning into the human cross. Then we go to your regular sequence around cat-cow, onto starting on one side with the crescent moon and split lunge, and on the same side doing the world's greatest stretch, swapping sides, and then doing our sequence of poses between upward facing, downward facing dog and upward facing dog with the 4 moves to kind of get you through that sequence. And then we just open out to do the dynamic scorpion to really untwist the body, relax the body, and then we may just lie for a moment or two just to kind of recover and get ourselves up and back into our day. So I hope that works for you. If there's questions, please ask. I would hope that could be kind of working around 15 minutes. So I'm gauging these kind of 30 seconds here, 30 seconds there. But if you feel you want to play around with that, that's fine. Start with broadly what I'm suggesting. Okay, thank you very much and see you soon.